How would you feel about a ban of "How are you today?" questions on the sub? If we banned all the stupid reposts, there'd be nothing left. Edit. This unhelpful shitpost is now one of my top 10 Reddit comments. I'd prefer a ban of "How would you feel about" questions which are thinly veiled leading questions. Sure, but let's also ban the "How would you feel about" insert something most people agree with questions, such as yours. How about a ban on the 5 most asked questions on Reddit? Or a ban on "How would you feel" questions? Fuck it. Let's just ban /r/AskReddit. How would you feel about a ban of "How would you feel" questions on this sub? I would feel very f***ing good about that. There is a glut of such inane questions on this sub, and any sort of curb on such pointless questions would be a good thing in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. From the subs sidebar. Greater than r/AskReddit is the place to ask and answer thought-provoking questions. I don't think "How are you today" classifies as a thought-provoking question. The only thought that it provokes is of me wanting to bash my head on my keyboard repeatedly. Lol. Is this a trick question? Asking us how we feel about eliminating a question that is essentially, "How do you feel?" Or somebody is about to get the joke about "How do you feel" posts. In case nobody else mentions it, this sub banned "How do you feel" posts. It's very ironic that this question uses a banned form and is asking about banning a type of question. If you're encountering a weird downvote pattern to replies, this is why. But to answer your question, the sub's purpose is to ask thought-provoking questions. I rarely see those here anyway, but it's nice when they do. I'm not sure banning the inane is the way to go. The problem is people upvoting the drivel all the time, and there's probably just no practical solution to that. I'd like it. I know people ask it because they're hoping it gets calmer. I would be against a ban, because Reddit should be self-regulating. If it's not interesting enough, people shouldn't comment or upvote. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Either way, if I see a bad post, I usually just scroll on by. I broke my own rule for this post, and lots of others probably do the same, so disregard this comment. Or don't. I'd rather ban the "What's your favorite video game?" but phrased in a different way. I'd prefer a ban on "Your username is" questions. There's a subreddit that exists for that kind of thing now. /r/how was today. Actually pretty chill place. You just make a write-up about your day, and people can comment on it. Good bit of positivity floating around there these days, what with the pandemic and all. What I want to ban is questions that are targeted at a very narrow group of people, like lawyers or doctors or people who married Karens. All the comments are just like "I'm not an ex, but I once heard a story." Every time I scroll my feed, I see at least 1 to 2 threads about "explain your username," or "if your username was this or that, what would happen / what would you do?" Every single time. I'll give the answer I'll always give to these posts. I'd rather have a ban on "How would you feel about" banning X questions. It's just karma farming. They don't actually care. No different because nobody cares, obviously. I don't know. On another note, how are you today? I don't see a need to ban these. I mean, who else am I going to anonymously spill all of my anxiety and life failings to? My parents. Fuck that. I mean, I see nothing wrong with checking in on your fellow Redditor. At least someone cares enough to ask. I want a ban on this in life. I have embarrassed myself into my mid-30s by honestly answering this and letting strangers know about my gastrointestinal discomfort. But online questions like this are clearly not greetings and reaffirms it's a literal question. No more asking people how they are doing both literally and as a greeting. Grunt nod to acknowledge people's existence and then move on. Subscribe, like and comment if you hate outros, begging you to subscribe, like and comment.